Hello, and thanks for watching. If you're a beginning or an intermediate ukulele player and you're looking for a way to take your playing to the next level, you'll probably want to learn some movable chord forms. These are particularly helpful if you already know the open chord forms, and if you're having problems, say, learning a song that you've heard on radio or someone else play, or if you go to a jam session where players may be playing in an unfamiliar key. Now, there's many ways to visualize and learn the open and movable chords. What I'm going to show you today is a method that works best for me. Now, I'm basically self-taught, so if you have difficulty with this method, by all means, go find another one on the internet or on YouTube, or feel free to drop me a line on how can I improve this lesson for you on the next time. I'd like to take just a moment to explain the chord notation that I'll be using in these videos. First, you'll see that the chord diagram has a series of colored dots. The colored dots indicate which finger I'm using to finger the notes in the chord. I'm using black for the index finger, blue for the middle finger, red for the ring finger, and pink for the pinky finger. Now within the dot for each note, you'll see that I have a number or a letter. This is used to indicate if it's the root, the third, or the fifth of the particular chord that I'm playing. Finally, next to the chord diagram, you'll see the number that indicates what fret we're on the fingerboard, so you'll know where to move that up or down the neck for the particular chord that we're playing at that time. That's about it. Pretty simple. So, let's get started. Let's take a look at the A minor movable chord form. Now, the reason I call this the A minor form is because I pattern it after the open A minor fingering. Now, if you've learned the A minor chord, it's pretty simple. You only have to fret one note, and many people have learned it like this, where you fret at the second fret on the fourth string. And that's how it sounds for an A minor. Now, the nice thing about this form is that it has the root of the chord on the first and the fourth string. So here's the A minor. And if you're playing with a standard tuning, then your upper string's tuned to an A, which is the root. And this one that's normally tuned to a G, when you fret the second fret, you're playing an A, so that's the root as well. And see, those sound alike. So the root of the notes on both of those strings, and then you've got the flatted third and the fifth. And that makes up the minor chord. The nice thing about this now is if I want to take it and play B minor, I can just bar across at the second fret and use that same fingering. So I'm using my index finger to bar all the way across, and I'm using my ring finger to press down and fret the note. And this is the B minor. Move it down a fret, B flat minor. Move it down one more fret. I have to lift this finger up because I'm on the nut now of the ukulele. And I'm back to the A minor. So A minor, B flat minor, B minor, C minor. Very easy fingering to move around. And again, remember where the root is on the first and the fourth string. This is the D minor chord form. And if you've learned to finger an open D minor, it sounds something like this. We've taken the normal D chord and you've just lowered the third of that chord by 1/2 step. Here's a D and a D minor. And I like this chord form. The thing I like to remember about that is where the root of that chord is, and that's on the third string right here. So if you're doing a GCEA tuning, G, C, D, A, then C up 2 frets is D, and that's where the root is of that chord. So here's the D minor, with the root being on the third string. Now I'm going to play this as an A to demonstrate it, or I'm sorry, as an E to demonstrate it for you. And the way I'm going to do that is to move up 2 frets, and I'm fingering as shown in my chord diagram here. And here's an E minor chord. The root, again, being on the third string right here. So that's an E minor. Here's an F minor, G minor. And you can play all these in these movable chord forms. So that's it for the D minor chord form. This chord form I call the G minor chord form, and it's a movable chord form based on an open G minor. Now, I've made a slight modification to this so that I can play all 4 strings fretted and move it up and down the fretboard. So here's a G, how most people have learned to finger an open G. In a G minor, you take the 3rd of that chord, which is right here, and drop it half a step. So there's a G minor. Now that's a perfectly good G minor chord, but to make it movable, I've picked up the flatted 3rd on the 4th string as well, instead of the root, which would be the G. And this way I can fret all 4 notes and play this as a movable chord form. So the way I've got it fingered right here is a G. The way you see it in my chord diagram is actually an A flat. I'll move it up 1 fret to play that A flat. That way you can use it for comparison here. So here's the A flat minor and the G minor. Now if we want to play an A minor, we just move it up 2 frets. So there's minor chords all up and down the neck. Now the nice thing about this one is the root is on the 2nd string, right here. So as you learn all the movable chord forms that I've shown you for the minor chords, you'll find that I've given you ones with roots that have the root on the 1st string and the 4th string, on the 3rd string, and on the 2nd string. So as long as you know where the root of the chord is for what you want to play, you can find a voicing that'll fit or a chord form that'll fit. But once you've learned these chord forms, what I like to do is to find a song that I know or enjoy that has 3 or 4 chords and just play along with it. And I might have been used to playing that with the open chord forms and playing them all open. And I like to try now the closed or the movable chord forms that I've taught and play them with that and try to just play the same song with same chords and different voicings. That's really helped me to get more familiar with where to find the different chords up and down the fingerboard on the ukulele. So take a song that you know, try with some different chord voicings, play it in different spots up and down the neck, and I think you'll become more and more familiar with how to play those. So I hope that helps you. And if I can teach anything else in a lesson, feel free to drop me a line. Thanks a lot. I'd like to take just a moment to say thanks to a few people that have helped me out in my ukulele playing, as I've been mainly self-taught. First, I'd like to say thanks to Rob Deal at the ukulele shop over in Richmond, Virginia. He's not too far away from where I live, and he let me pick out this very beautiful Kala tenor ukulele that I've been playing. Very happy with. He also operates on eBay as Ukulele for You. If you're interested, I would highly recommend him for a ukulele, for your next ukulele purchase. I'd also like to say thanks to some people on the internet that I've never met but have been great inspiration for me in learning. People like Dominator, who have made some fantastic ukulele tabs for intermediate and advanced players from what I would consider, but very great tablature for ukulele. Guys like John Rockwell, who very entertaining on the ukulele, plays a lot of improv music and writes some of his own stuff, and very inspiring there. And guys like Chris Nipper from Ukeland, and the guys out at Ukulele Underground as well. I think they're doing great jobs, and thanks to all of you out there that are playing and sharing your work on the internet, because it helps us all improve. And that's about it. So I'm Captain of Uke, signing out.